Good morning, good night, wherever you are at. Marlon Modeste, I'm here again. And listen, we have something special happening tonight. I know it's the 27th. I know you all are watching your football. But here, we had to do this. And we're doing this one for the working class because, the first one was in the daytime. All right? So we most likely will post out this one for you all. Right? But we have a special guest tonight. It's my pleasure, my good friend, my uh, business partner. He has been around for many, many years. I knew him from selling music equipment, but back in the days, and now he has modified his business, and he's doing so many different things. He has at least 4 to 5 different books, right? But more important, tonight we're going to talk about the most important that is happening to everybody right about now. Some people don't know how to keep the crypto properly. And we don't want to have a situation like how we saw Batman that is happening in Tobago right now, taking the headlines right about now. But we have our own Pastor Carlos Gonzales, and everybody know him as different names, but I know him as Pastor Carlos. And listen, he's the author of many different books. But tonight, we are going to have an interview with Pastor Carlos, and I want him to come on. Folks, this is going to be afterwards. We're going to take 1 or 2 questions afterwards, right? Tonight, we'll take some questions. So we're going to just start it up here. All right. So let me give you an opportunity to give him a clap on a yeah. Give a shout out. Let's give it up for Pastor Carlos. Go ahead. You all come on mute. Give it up, give it up. Yeah. Now meet you all. Yeah, you all can unmute yourself now. Right. So welcome, Pastor Carlos.
Thank
And
you.
of, and of course, everybody know you in the crypto space for a long time. I've known you since 2020, before 2017. And it's a pleasure to have you on. Listen, I'm excited about this new book because the last 2 books that you wrote, it it was a sellout for our last community. And we have a fresh new community on now, and I
Mm.
want them to experience the education that I would have received from the beginning to now. And I know you have something special on tonight. So tell us about yourself first, Pastor Carlos.
Well, good night to everyone, wherever you may be listening in from. I'm Carlos Gonzales. That's my name. For the past 19 years, I've been founder and director of my company, GoTech Interactive Media Services, where I provided IT solutions, cybersecurity services, sound reinforcement, computer training for individuals, organization. I'm also an author, as you heard. I'm a researcher and educator with a passion for making complex subjects understandable. Throughout my time, I've always believed that technology should empower people and not intimidate them. And I'm also a minister of the gospel, and I do a whole lot of stuff. I'm into online radio streaming, um, and many other pursuits. But I'll leave it there for now. I hail from San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago as well. Married, 2 beautiful children, beautiful wife. Yeah.
Wow. So, Carlos, there's many things happening on your plate. I know that. And both of us busy like that. But we had to meet up because when you send me the message on your following, and tell people where they could follow you first now at the beginning. So in case they get lost, how they could find you. How they could
Well,
find you on the
well, you
following
can
streams.
you can find me actually on Instagram as well. Under our publishing house, Trumpet House Publishing, at
Oh yeah.
Trumpet House Publishing, right? And you could WhatsApp me as well. I have my number. I could give it to you after. And of course, email. And we have our websites as well, including the website which I will give you at the end of the program, that's promoting my latest book, which you will see there on the screen, Cybersecurity Governance. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Carlos, let's skip the commercial. Let's get into this right about now because I'm excited.
yeah,
Right. So, one question: what inspired you to write about cybersecurity governance? I don't know. You know what? Well, what inspired you? Because I kind of clueless. It takes a little time for me. My head kind of hard.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, we live in a time where every day we are hearing about a cyber attack.
Yeah.
We're hearing
True.
about a data breach.
True.
We are hearing about people losing money to online
True.
scams. We are hearing people getting the cryptocurrency hacked,
True.
right? A lot of people is of the opinion that cybersecurity is just for IT professionals, you know, people who are into tech and building computers and stuff like that. My desire was I want to help change that perception, you know. So I wrote this book called Cybersecurity Governance, and it's a book really for everyday people, right? Whether you're a student, a business owner, a church leader, a teacher, or a professional, every person simply need to learn how to understand how to protect themselves in today's digital world. You know, one of our greatest defense is knowledge. And so I have attempted through this book to put all the knowledge that I think every person need to be able to navigate the cyberspace, so to speak.
So you know, I hear that to navigate. You remember my days back in 2017? I said, boy, if I can learn this thing, what will happen to me? And it's because of how your teaching was, what I
Yes.
saw that I say, no, upon. I want to thank you publicly for this opportunity because this transformed my life. Seed time and harvest. It took some time
Yeah.
for me because it took some time. But when I got what you were teaching, it was so solid enough. It helped transform my life and let me make decisions back in 2025 that I could not have made if I did not go through the education of what you would have taught early on. So hats off to
Yeah.
you. Thank you again. My whole family says thank you.
Hmm.
They're just listening in the background, some of them. What
Right.
exactly does crypto governance really mean? Because I mean, people say, eh,
Cybersecurity governance.
just checking if you're sleeping. But cybersecurity governance, what does it really mean?
Yeah.
What is cyber? I know about cyber, I know about security, but what the governance is all about? What is it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question because when people hear the word governance, we often think of government. You know, we think about corporate boards. But governance is simply, it means simply having the right leadership, having policies or rules or processes, having responsibility in place to protect your information, right? Technology alone cannot stop cybercrime. It needs people, it needs policies and rules, right? It needs good decision making.
Hmm.
These things are really important. And so that is really what the word all package up governance means. It means every person having been responsible for their information. Simple. And before you go on, I could recall because I too I didn't mention I've been in the crypto space a number of years as well, and I could tell you uh, the amount of incidences of hacking and data breaches we have experienced and see I've seen persons who have lost their crypto keys to get their wallets to get access. is because they didn't practice cybersecurity governance. If they had practiced cybersecurity governance, that wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, you get me scared there, but I take it, I take it in stride because I know that
Mhm.
you are the one who would have, taught all of us, and we want to just say thanks, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I have my good friend on the line, Mr. Michael Aman, too as well. Welcome, Mr. Michael Aman. Um, yeah, and so it talk about breaches. I understand the word breach. I understand that, but I remember a few years ago, some a cyber attack took place, that they were waiting right there for when the people send their crypto in, and then they stole this large amount. I don't know how much. I think it was 400 million or 200 million or 250 million, some large
Mm.
amount.
Yeah.
And I was like, um, how could somebody sit down there, the thief sitting down there, and you don't know when the thief is going to attack or take from you, And I said, I wonder if Carlos, and then watch that or heard about it, and then of course
Hmm.
you have so many different um international networks that communicate with you, and within minutes you found out, and I was like, wow, wow. You tell us
Yeah.
about some of the communication that you have with some of the network that you have.
Well, I am in contact and connect with a number of international cybersecurity news sources that do highlight and gives me a lot of updates as to hacks that are happening, hacks that are about to happen, and hacks that hacking not just to big systems or big companies, but even hacks to Android phones, hacks that are happening for iPhone, hacks that are happening for Windows, and everyday programs and things that we oftentimes sometimes use in all these digital devices. So a lot of these platforms they they inform me very early, and I also have a chat dedicated on Signal. If you don't know about Signal, it's an app that you should get. That I update our community as well, in terms of the hacks and of things that are happening in the cyberspace.
So on that note, why is cybersecurity becoming so important today?
That is a very practical question. Is obviously why it's so important today is because if you want to put it, our whole lives are now digital, literally. After
True,
2020, and we
true.
saw the pandemic or the scamdemic or however you want to see it, um, our lives got transferred to the digital domain. It was there all the time, but that push really
It speed it
drove
up. It speed it up.
persons. Yeah, it accelerated people's lives being more digital. Right today, we bank online, we shop online. Many persons are working remotely. Um, People put their family photographs online. I was sharing with a group earlier this week. You take your picture on Google with your phone. You don't know that automatically sometimes upload up to your Google Cloud. People have access in the cloud to your information that is in Google. You know, Businesses today rely almost entirely on digital systems. The more connected we become, is the more opportunities cyber criminals have to exploit our weaknesses and our vulnerabilities.
Hmm.
And so cybersecurity is no longer optional. Long ago, you would say it was optional. It is a necessity today. It is an essential life skill. I'll put it that way. Cybersecurity is an essential life skill.
So let me ask you. So who should really be reading this book that we know this book is out officially now?
Yes,
Officially now. Who should be
yes,
reading this book? Because
yes.
I mean,
This book
be,
on cybersecurity governance. Yes, this book
I have my mother who is 78 and my aunt who is 76. And I send them and I tell them, I say, what about your bank account? You're doing things online. It don't have to be crypto. It could be just the way how you do your banking and different things.
That's right.
You know,
That's
and
right.
I opened her mind up and she said, you know, that's true because she has a I'm sure she have the same password for every single thing.
Mm.
And that's
And
wrong,
that's a dangerous possibility. You
right?
know.
So
Yeah.
who should really be reading this book then?
Every single person. The way I wrote this book, as I said, is for the everyday person. So whether you're 16 years old, whether you're 70 years old, whether you're a parent, especially today if you're a parent, a lot of parents give the children tablets and devices, and that has now become the new babysitter replacing television. Some people
Mm-hmm.
giving their children the 4 year old, 3 year old the phone, and there are programs like Roblox that where uh, pedophiles go on to listening and to target young children who are on those platforms, right? How does a parent know how to look out for the signs that someone is marking their daughter or the child, you know? So parents definitely should get this book. Teachers, if you're a teacher, you have a
Oh
class, you
yeah.
have students, you have
Hey,
to teach. We
hey
saw
bro,
that.
that COVID mash up teachers, bro. Hey, that
Yeah,
teachers calling me. Hey, I don't know you know how to use the Zoom. I don't know how to use
yes.
so. I don't know how to come children come in dressed in their pajamas
Yep.
and
Yeah, they
and
didn't know how to use Zoom.
the, and they wanted that overnight like a 2 hours tutorial for them
Yeah.
to be able to learn how to use the skills to use.
Yeah. That was messed up, but it is what it was. Some people still having problems. Some people
Yes.
don't even know how to access an email. Simple thing like an email, people don't know how to access. Right? I had someone contact me recently, and they were asking me to help them to navigate their email, only to find out that the email was compromised and they had to do a new email. So now they're asking me how to actually do the new email for them because they don't know how to do that. So they're very simple processes that everyday people don't know. And this book will help people to at least have some responsibility over how they put the information online. People love to put what they eat for breakfast on Facebook or where they're visiting, right? And the stalker is also looking on as well as the bandit to see where you are going to be showing up tonight as you put it on your Facebook profile to show the whole world where you are at. These things are you're not practicing proper governance when you do these things. So a teacher, pastor, right, preachers, the church also need to be aware of cybercrime, right? There are reports of churches, people images being taken from they're being, let's say, videotaped in a live church session, and people taking that image and putting it on porno and marketing you as a pornographic person. All these kind of things are happening. Business owners should definitely read this book. I have special templates at the back of the book designed for business people to um, create their own personal cybersecurity policy framework
Right.
for their business. And your business, you can be selling doubles, Polari, or cars. It doesn't matter the size of your business. Yeah,
Right.
you know.
You know, you
In
said
fact,
something.
in fact, anybody with a smartphone should get this book. Let's put it that way. And
Well, I know what to tell you. You know, AI is the new thing out, and I'm sure that with AI, those persons who are on the bad actors who are on the wrong side, they're using AI to their advantage to get to our people
yep.
even more. Yeah, we have
Hmm.
people who I sure sometime they're going to have large payouts of crypto and how do they manage their crypto? I know the past books that I've read from you has helped our family. So I know that this cybersecurity book is a book I believe that is for easy for beginners,
Yeah,
people
it's
who don't know nothing.
yeah, zero, zero from zero, starting from zero.
Yes. So what makes your book different now from other cybersecurity books? Because you're not the only person writing on cybersecurity. What really makes your book different?
Yeah, that's a good question. Many cybersecurity books, when it is written, it is always written from the assumption that people already understand the technical language. I deliberately do not try to avoid as much as possible using too much technical language, though there was some. But what I try to do is to explain it in a way where it's like we and I talking across the table from one another in a very simple way with simple illustrations, real life scenarios. The goal of this book is not to impress people with how much technical language, but the goal is to really help people to become safer online. And that is really, I believe, what makes my book different, as well as the guides, templates, and we have checklists at the back where you could go to the back and check to see how much of a governor you are of your cybersecurity life, your cyber life. How are you managing? So we have a lot of guides and stuff, practical stuff, and that is very, very important. And I felt that that would make my book stand out apart from others.
Yeah, great, great. So I know you because I respect what I have learned from you so much that I have actually had a team of people, and some of them are online right now. Charmaine Holmes, Kinder, Sandra, Naomi, and I've learned so much from you in the last let's say that's 9 years or so, and
Mm,
that has transformed my life for me to be able to make a decision to walk away from my job, to say this is my
mm,
last working day. I have enough education that I've
mm.
gotten in the crypto space,
Yeah.
and I want to make a move. But I want
Mhm.
to ask you now, what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make online? What do you say are some of the biggest mistakes?
Well, since you started off talking about the crypto, I could tell you one of the biggest mistakes people do online is save the seed phrase on their phones, right? The seed phrase, which is the security feature to protect your wallet from being accessed. Most people take a snapshot of it, or they actually type it in the notepad in there on their phone, right? Even the last crypto class I taught recently, I was telling them, even the fact of using your mobile phone to carry all the crypto. I always advise people get a separate smartphone if you want to keep your online wallets and have that stored somewhere safe. And then you have a phone for wherever you're going all over the place. Simple things like that. Using the same password everywhere. You talked about that earlier, right? That is a simple but a foolish mistake, really and truly. Clicking links without verifying if the link is authentic. You get an email with a link and you just click on it because you're happy to get email. Long ago when the mail person passed, you're always happy to see the mail person drop off loads of envelopes. You're happy to open them to get to feel special. So today, where in the email world, we see plenty email, we get happy, we get excited, we want to click. Therefore, so we just clicking links and we're not verifying. If we were expecting that email, there are a lot of questions and things we have in place for you to ask yourself and prepare yourself whether you should be clicking a particular link on your email. Even ignoring software updates. Some software does rely on updates to keep the protections of your devices or protection of your operations online safe. So there are some software updates that is important that you should do. especially as it relates to viral definitions and all that. Connecting to unsecured public Wi-Fi. That's a big one, right? Going by Subway or KFC and sitting and using your phone to go online to do your banking business. They're using a public Wi Fi space where there may be hackers sitting right in that building with on monitoring the network to see who they could access their phones to or through. That's a simple mistake people do. Oversharing personal information on social media. That one, whoa, that one has lost control today. You go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, even WhatsApp, sharing all your personal information too much to try to impress people for the sake of getting friends, right? Look today, guess what? I'm in Disney, and the stalker is seeing that as well. We have to control ourselves, trusting emails simply because they appear legitimate. Be careful. So these are some of the simple mistakes you do. There's a whole lot more. You can get it in my book as to how people make simple mistakes, and these simple mistakes costing you a
Well,
lot.
I have a card in my hand, and just today self, when I was driving, I was driving my sister-in-law car. Her key, she had it in a separate pouch. Away, she said, this pouch, you have to have it open because if you close it, the vehicle will shut down on the road with you. And she said that is to protect me from somebody stealing my codes and being
Yeah,
able to open
yeah.
my. So it's happening so much. And I want to bounce back into the AI. It seems to be
hmm
AI is changing everything. And how is this affecting cybersecurity right about now? How is it affecting cybersecurity?
Well, AI, which is artificial intelligence, it can be considered one of the greatest achievements and opportunities, but it could also be one of the greatest challenges when it comes to cybersecurity. On one hand, AI could allow AI security professionals to detect attacks faster than ever before. AI does aid in doing that. But on the other hand, criminals are now using AI to generate convincing phishing emails, to clone voices, to create deepfake videos, and automate attacks at a scale like we have never seen before. So, AI, while it has its pros, it has its cons as well. And I have a list of actual a list of AI programs that hackers use a lot to help generate some of the things that they're using now as tools to hack people's devices.
I,
So
I have a
AI
co-
is a challenge.
I have a comment from Michael Aman here. He said, not confirming authenticity of emails is another common mistake people make.
Correct. Correct. That's right. But we did say about verifying. So
Yeah.
that would be part of the verifying email, verifying to see. Yes, that's right, Michael. Pleasant night.
So, one question I want to ask you here about now. I'm going to ask you about 8 or 9 questions, but this one, what was one of the, was there one chapter in particular you enjoyed writing in this cyber security governance book? What is one chapter that something I call it Kun Fuco, Fuoco, it's something in Italian, which means with passion, with fire. It
Mm,
means that you love it now. You in the writing they say, yes, I feel this is for what the main meat and the meat and potatoes, what the people would like. So what's the one chapter? Because I want to know that chapter because I already ordered 50 books and we already have 10, one person bought 10, and three persons bought two each. So because they say they
mm.
want one for each
Wow.
partner.
Okay.
So that is 16 books
Wow.
out of the
Yeah.
50 already gone already.
Yeah.
People are playing. Yeah. So what is that one chapter?
The chapter on AI, artificial intelligence, because it is very current and relevant to what we see happening. And that chapter is called AI and emerging cyber threats. That chapter I enjoy writing because of the fact that it's one thing to know what has happened, but it's another thing to anticipate and see what is coming on the horizon in terms of cyber threats, right? And the level of cyber threats that will be happening. So I enjoyed writing that book because it gave me a chance to really draw out some scenarios as to um, what to expect in terms of breaching of cybersecurity devices and that kind of thing, cybersecurity devices, you know? Yeah, that was a really good chapter.
Yeah, you know, you, we had discussion before. We talked about people's career. Your book discusses about career and cybersecurity, and why does your book discuss that?
Yeah,
Why is that? Why is that? I know for a fact that I did a cyber security course with you, cyber 1 and 2,
yeah, yeah,
and because of that, I felt safer to get into the crypto space or educate myself even more because of this security features that would have taught in previous
yeah,
sessions.
yeah. Um, you you see, cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing professions in the world, next to AI. And I, I, parents, I would talk to parents at times who have the children just write an exam and so forth, and they're trying to decide what the child want to do. The children today have so much more opportunities than we had long time, but yet they seem more confused. And long ago we just had the choices of being either doctor, lawyer, mailman, fireman, um, and pan man, right? That we had that was the simple choices we had. There's so much choices today, but yet they're more confused. I would say that um, a career in cybersecurity is one of the best options as well because of what's happening in the world and the development of AI and where we are heading. People don't realize that pretty soon you wouldn't necessarily need a computer to actually do a lot of things because every device is going to be smart. There's smart washing machines, there's smart fridges, there's smart cars, there's smart doorbells, smart houses, right?
I wanted the smart cook soon. I want that.
Right, you have that, and of course there's the field of robotics that is
Yeah,
also growing parallel with AI,
correct.
right? And cybersecurity will be the doctors, the cybersecurity personnel. Having a career in cybersecurity will allow you and I to be the doctors in this new techno shift, I call it. This time where technology and AI and the cyberspace is more and more
I,
advancing and
I
prevalent.
I heard a doctor was on a plane doing a surgery with AI. He was on
Mm.
a plane flying and telling the AI what to do, and
Yeah,
the AI was doing the surgery. And I'm like, "You sure?" They say, "Yeah."
yeah, that's right. That's right. So our current cybersecurity, that's why I put it in the book. Because there's a whole lot, and I put a whole lot of different fields people can get into in different fields of cybersecurity. Right? You don't have to have a computer science degree anymore. There are other ways where you could get certifications and training, right? And all that you can find inside of the book.
So okay, so in the book now, we buy the book. We have any upcoming lectures or anything that that we could look forward to? I don't know. Give us a time frame. Right now, everybody into football fever 2026. So it's crazy, right? But
Yes.
give me an
Yes.
opportunity. Give me an opportunity to come and 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 get my book signed and get a lecture from you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we have coming up what we call a cybersecurity governance lecture. And this lecture is going to be a special offer when you buy the book Cybersecurity Governance. The lecture is expected to happen in the third to fourth week of July. So you want to get in early, and in purchasing the book will qualify you for 40% discount to attend the lecture. The lecture is really the value of 170 US, but we have broken that down to $106 US. Now, the book, if you want to do the calculation, is about 24 US. So you are actually saving over $50 US having the book and attending a lecture. And in the lecture, we will be expanding on current cyber threats. So that's why you want to be at the lecture, because the lecture, while the book was written, now this book has been written. I've been writing this book since 2025. So there are a lot of things that have been current now that may not even be in the book. The lecture will bring that update. So you
I
want to
hear you.
be at the lecture to that. You also want to, one of my favorite chapters, I didn't mention this chapter, but I do have a chapter on defining cyber criminals. And we will be talking about that in the lecture as well. What is cyber criminal? How do they think? Because they have a way of thinking. Because cybercrime, actually, there's a whole philosophy behind cybercrime. Don't have time to get into it now, but there's a whole philosophy behind cybercrime. It's not they are the one or two malicious, wicked people, but there's literally also a philosophy behind a lot of cyber crime and hacking activity that we see. The lecture we talk about all that.
So we have a early bird special. Tell us about that.
Well, the early bird special is that 40% of the lecture.
Right.
Buy the
Okay.
book, buy the book. You will get a virtual ticket, and that virtual ticket will have on it a special code that will be assigned to you, and that will say when you are ready to pay for the lecture that you get 40% off on the lecture.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Hmm.
So why should somebody attend if I had the book already and I is a scrapshot reader? Why should I be attending? No matter you tell us it. Why should we attending?
Because we are not just about the book. Book has knowledge, and it has the knowledge written, yes, down there, but the lecture is for interaction. There's a lot of things that happen in lectures, or in virtual meetups, or physical meetups. And one thing is interaction. Another one of the things is also networking. You'll be able to network with other people in the space, be able to talk to them, ask personal questions, Um, and of course, one of the things that we are also doing is once you attend a lecture, you'll be qualified to also be a part of our cyber community. It's called Cybercom on Signal, right? If you're not a member already, this will qualify you to be a member of our cyber community on Signal, where you will get all the update hacking news and stuff, things that you would not see in the mainstream media, you know. So it will be a real good opportunity for you to come and engage in discussion and get clarity where you need clarity.
Well, I want to just ask you a question. I see Michael giving a comment here. They also have smart glasses built in with cameras and real-time translation
Yes.
into any language. Yeah,
Correct, correct.
yeah.
There's so much, so much, so much. Every single day, there are digital devices that is coming out that is being made available. What we call them wearables, right? Wearables. Pretty soon, your coats and clothes will be digitally synced as well, right? And I'm not talking as an NFT. That is one side of it. But even your clothes will be digitally synced as being able to track your movements and being able to see um, your clothes need washing today. You get an update on your phone. This clothes has reached its maximum wear use. Time to wash it. Yeah, right. That's the kind of
Oh
place.
my God.
That's the kind of place we're heading.
Yeah, so I hear you loud and clear. So one question, another question is, what advice would you give parents? What advice you give parents who having challenges with children, and they just clicking on every single thing and they getting hacked. I have one of my grannies, I call her. She's a 86 or something like that, and her Facebook got hacked, everything, because she retrieved the information. It looks good, and she just click on it, and she gets hacked. And
Yeah.
right now she's off of Facebook because there's so much time that the hacker has put up a picture of her,
Hmm.
pretending he is her, or even on her WhatsApp, and
Yeah.
it's not really her.
Yeah. Identity theft is a big
Hmm.
thing that's happening.
So the question is, what advice would you give parents? What advice you give?
Parents, get this book and start educating your children at home. You could use this book as a training manual for your own children to teach them about cyber responsibility, right? And just as how we teach children to cross the road safely, we could teach children how to navigate the cyberspace safely. The key word is safely, but you can only know what is safe when you know what is a danger. So again, the education that is provided, and again, the lecture will also aid with helping parents to be more mindful, to throw an extra eye, to be able to cyberproof certain things in your home that need to be cyberproofed, right? That your young child should not be ready to access it. I know we talk, well,
Sorry for cutting you. I want to say, I experienced that, and I mean, we thinking that we inside there, and even in the cartoons, I watched one or two cartoons that my daughter was watching back in that 2006 or seven,
yeah,
and yeah, somewhere around the 2007 or something like that, 2008, and I was taken aback by all the different things that they put in to let the child click on the ad, and the child would know anything, and maybe porn come up or something come up that
yes,
that and you as the parent not really looking on, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Just this weekend going, I had a child was visiting me, one of my godchildren, and he had a simple thing like a walkie-talkie toy, and we're there playing with it, communicating one with the other, and suddenly it begins to shh, and another voice comes on the walkie-talkie toy, and I began to intercept it and say, "Well, who's this?" Of course, it was coming in and out. So parents need to be aware of what they're giving the children, what they're buying for the children, what the children are looking at, right? Parents need to do some parenting again. So I really want to encourage parents to get the book because it will help you to be a little more sensitized to the devices in your home, what your children have access to, and the dangers and the protections that you could set up for them on their devices.
I know we're coming to the close, but I just want to ask you one more question.
Mm,
What do you want readers to take away from your book, from the cybersecurity governance book? What do you want people to, um when they see somebody, they say, "Boy, I read a book and it was good." Not good, but something inside the book. Cause I'm excited. That's why I bought the first 50 already. I say, upon it, for my past experience with you, the education of how you break it down for the simple person. I said, upon everybody needs to get this book. So
yeah,
what you want the reader to take away from this book.
that cybersecurity is not about computers, right? It's about people, right? They have to take away the reality that technology will continue to evolve, right? Hackers will also continue to evolve, right? Informed people will remain the strongest defense against cybercrime. So I want people to be equipped and prepared through the education that the book and the lecture will provide in being having the best defense. You know, yeah, that's what I would say.
What's the one cybersecurity book everyone should read? One
My
set.
own, my own.
I agree because I've been to some list. You know, I've, I've somebody listening on the podcast, and the language is so high that even when I jump in, I
Yeah,
can I with a net I can't catch it.
yeah,
And I
hmm,
listen it back a little slower thanks to YouTube and all the different things where I can slow down the
yeah,
information and then go back inside the one of the books that had done. You had given us a list of all the language of in the crypto space, so then
yeah,
you know the language what they're being said, because you know
yeah.
some people say I say send me your address, and people still put in their home address, send it to me, and I say, boy, we're not talking about that, you know.
Wrong address.
Yeah. So what is the biggest cybersecurity myth that people
um, People need to really again understand governance, understand personal responsibility. Um, Getting my book will help to guide you, but again, you have to do the work. Every person have to do the work. It's not just about reading a book and saying, "Well, I read Pastor Carlos' book. It was good or it wasn't good." They need everybody to put a hand, a practical effort into practicing the things that are taught,
I
right?
totally agree with you. I totally
Um,
agree with you.
we do not progress without practice, right? We do not progress without practice. So we need to practice. And you
I
practice with the small things, and then you grow and you get bigger and better.
I totally agree with you, because right now I'm doing conversation Spanish, right, and French,
Mm,
just and I get the recording every day, and if I don't press that 3 or 5 times in that little window space that I have, it's lost. And like, what did you say yesterday? I'm like, so it has to be that practice.
yeah.
Describe cybersecurity in 3 words, man. Describe
Well,
cyber.
I would say governance. One, as I already said, cybersecurity governance, which is personal responsibility to protect your technology. One things I would say confidence. Developing confidence is a very important word in cybersecurity. To be confident that you don't have to be afraid to touch this key that the computer will blow up, right? You have to approach your devices with confidence, get familiarized with the devices and the technology, and cybersecurity is really just monitoring and managing how you operate and function with the information that you put online. You know,
What what's the one app we should all install today?
well, I would say Signal is one of my favorite. Signal, right? Um, there are other things called password managers that you can also install. You just have to be mindful of where you store and how you store, where you download from. Again, there are certain sites that are reputable, but just to give you another example, there was on Twitter. There's this big thing a lot where people tell you congratulations, you've won some Ethereum, and then when you go on, they tell you you've won $1,500 in Ethereum, and then they tell you, but you have to send 100 US to pay for the transfer of the $1,500 Ethereum, right? And they say if you send out $100, we will send you the 1,500. Does that make sense, really, people? Think about it. I like to play with them. I just tell them, listen, deduct it from the 1,500 and they send me the $1,400. But no, they won't. They don't. They don't give into that at all, right? So the thing is that we have to become aware of these kind of traps and scams and situations. There are situations where hackers fake wallets. They create fake crypto wallets, and people send their crypto thinking that they have set up their own wallet, not knowing it's a hacked wallet that they've sent up their crypto in, right? What makes it a hacked wallet is that the hackers have access to it already, and they gave you that wallet to send the crypto to, right? Telling you that you are safe and you're protecting your assets. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we could go on and on in terms of um, proper governance, proper practices, right? There's something called cyber hygiene. Just like how you want to bathe every day and brush your teeth
Sure,
and comb your hair,
sure,
right? And do all the hygienic practices daily. There are
sure.
also cyber hygienic practices that one should employ daily. We talk about that a little bit in the lecture and in the book as well, you know?
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited. I have about four or five more questions, but I'm not going to ask these questions now. I'm going to let it be for the next session. We'll have a next session to sit down, right?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
we will be looking sometime in July after the what's next for Pastor Carlos? You know, sometime in July we said after the World Cup finals
Mhm.
to have the lecture somewhere around there. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking around the third or fourth week of July.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, what we will try and hope to have is a certain amount of attendees to be able to do this. We want to really have a real good session with manual training manuals. So even though you have the book already, you may get training digital training manual. You will get again access to our cyber community, um, and there may be much more goodies which I wouldn't want to say now, but would surprise you with.
I
You
hear
know?
you. I love
Yeah,
my goodies. I like my goodies.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to say thank you on behalf of my family, and I have a friend on right now, Mr. Michael Aman, my one of my partners in education and business, and I don't know if Michael you want to come on and say anything, but I want to just say, Pastor Carlos, thank you very much. You are the one who would have started us right here, right downstairs, our home here, right back in the days, and I was like, I said, hey, all family members, we have to go downstairs. We can't have the session right upstairs from us, and we downstairs, and we
Yeah.
can't go come downstairs. And it was the transformation of from there. I really was looking for um another job, and now that I've left my 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 brick and mortar job,
Hmm.
I love the crypto space because it's not a job, but it gives me some kind of leverage time where
Yeah.
I could move and do different things, and because of the when I reached the level of doing the cybersecurity and I ask the questions, I know we going out and we carry out and we are asking you some questions. I say, you know, I did something so and so, and you said something so and so, but it not clicked to me what you said because the way how we break it down in small thing, and I know Michael is there too as well, sending messages inside the chat room there. So I want to just ask Michael just in this for the moment. I don't know if he's available to come online. Um,
And
I,
while and
I
while
say
he's yeah, while he's going to come on, I just sent a link on the chat where person can feel free to visit to get more information about the book, the names of the chapters, and all those kind of things. You could get it right
beautiful,
in there.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Good night, Michael.
Hi, good night, good night. I don't know if you hear me clearly.
Yes, we're hearing you good.
Yeah,
All right, that's all right. I'm on the highway right now, not the information super highway, but technically I am both on the information super highway and the actual physical highway because
Yes.
we're talking online. And I
Yeah.
know that even this medium of communication is also susceptible to hacking. I've been on Zooms where people have like taken over the writing, the illustration,
Yes.
things, and drawing all sorts of things on the screen, and
Yep. Yep.
you post are trying to control it. So even things as simple as Zooms, people should be able to set settings in advance to prevent people from doing things like that,
Correct.
right? So yeah, so the book is important, and I know it covers many of these things in terms of people just create accounts, and and they never pay. A lot of people don't really pay attention to securing their systems, setting up
Yeah.
2FAs for even things like Facebook.
Yeah.
And because of that, many people have had their Facebook hacked, their Instagram hacked, and other things. Some people say, "Hey, I want to stay away from Facebook and stay away from these things," but it's not so much staying away from them; it's basically securing what they have, because some of these platforms we can't avoid it. It's like the new television. It's a way of
Yeah.
communication. That's how people get in touch with family, friends, whatever. But they have
Yeah.
to know how to secure it, and
Mm-hmm.
on WhatsApp as well too. And I realize that some of these applications, in cognizance of the increase in hacking and the increase in vulnerability, have also introduced some additional security. And people should be aware of all of that security. And of course, there's levels of security depending on the type of communication you have. If you're
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
in a if you're communicating with someone and you're telling them, "Hey, let's go to the beach," that's a different level of security than communicating financial information with someone. You know, that's
Correct.
where that's the
Correct.
difference of like WhatsApp. That's the difference between WhatsApp and Signal, for instance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Correct.
but with all of that being said, I must say though that I disagree with the statement that it is a book that everybody should have. I know that there is a particular community that does not that would not really need this book,
Or the
right?
scammers. Hackers and
That's
scammers.
a that's a community of that's the community of Rudal Cemetery. The people in the Rudal Cemetery don't need this book, right? People in
Okay.
the Marabella Cemetery don't need this book, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
if people
Well.
are not if people are not in these communities, yeah, well, of course, it's something that's very important.
Well, that's the question is, do they still have a body? Remember, it's everybody, yeah? So they may not have a body anymore in the cemetery. So I might still be accurate. you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to give you kudos. I know the effort. It's one thing to have a lot of information in your mind, and information that a lot of people take information in, but a lot
Yeah.
of people don't, and they keep the information to themselves. But what you have
Yeah.
done is more than just like teaching a class. You have actually
Yeah.
created a book to put that long after you're gone, that information will still be there to guide. So I
Yeah.
want to commend you for taking initiative
Yeah.
for creating this piece of work.
And
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, and Pastor Carlos' gift is really how he breaks down the information. So that's why I'm so excited about it. And that's why I
Yes.
just say, hey, I take in the first 50. Yeah, okay. I know the cost is an average of 240. We had here said early on. And I said, I'm bringing the first 50. That's, and for the community and for them to at least get the information firsthand and get an
Yeah.
opportunity to really, 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 really get deeper into that security because we know, Michael, that people have been scammed and out of their different things and assets, digital assets, and is
Yeah.
that pain, Michael,
Oh
has
yes, yes.
And
it's sad.
Marlon, I want to
They
make
have been and will continue to do so.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Marlon, I want to make an announcement. I want to make a surprise. If the first 30 people within this week order the book, they were gonna get an additional $40 off
Oh
and get it
Jesus.
for $200. So, or let's put it this way: 199.99.
That
Right?
that that
That's
that
even
that, that's a done deal. I will message at least the first 200 persons and ask them yes or no. Do you want the book? and that's it. Yes or no? Do you want
Yeah, yeah.
do you
Because
have to
we want to get these books out as much as possible, you know?
Wow, wow, wow. The first 30 persons you say you're giving them
Yeah.
at $40 off. So
Yeah.
they just getting a $200 bill, right? TT.
That's
Right,
right.
good. All
That's
right, good.
right.
All right, good. I done.
Yeah.
I done. I done. I want to close off right about now because any questions, I want to stop the recording
Mm-hmm.
and ask if anybody want to ask any question. Michael, thanks again for coming on. I know you're driving, and I just at the last
Thanks,
moment I just
Michael.
say, upon hey, I got Michael here. I know the first one we did it earlier in the daytime, and that wasn't really appropriate for people who are working. And between Pastor Carlos, and myself, time. I said, I want to do one for the people. I know Saturday night is a night when people are out liming, so I want to say thank you for all those who came on, Sandra, Holmes, Kinder, Naomi, Mr. Lynch, right? Mr. Holmes, right? And
Yeah.
for
Big up
you all to come.
homes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big up to you all. So Michael, thanks again. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the recording and you can ask your questions. All right.